$24,000 car, and I was barely making $20,000 a year.
We pay more for our cars every month than we do for our house.
I bought not only one, but two motherfucking high-end luxury cars. And looking back, I could really slap the fuck out of myself if I'm just being honest.
This car is the worst car I have ever had in my entire life.
Have you ever sat in a brand new car at the dealership and thought, yeah, I deserve this? Because you're about to watch someone buy an Audi with no research or negotiation and regret it within a year. You're gonna see a woman who was making $20,000 a year buy a $24,000 car, and somehow she's the one who gets it right in the end. This is car purchase regrets. Let's get into it.
A year ago, I bought my dream car. Today, I'm getting rid of it. Audi Q5, I was obsessed with the color, the model. It was literally everything that I wanted, but I went in completely blind, no research, no negotiation, and I was easily persuaded. Now, a year later, I realized it wasn't for me. I want to move into a more practical lifestyle now. I was so grateful that I was able to purchase this car, but now I want to make sure that I get the car that I really need. This is also your sign to go into a dealership prepared or bring your parents to help you negotiate.
She said no research, no negotiation, and I was easily persuaded. And you need to understand that those are 3 red flags in one sentence. The dealership saw her coming a mile away because she walked in already in love with the color, and they knew she'd sign anything they put in front of her. 1 year later, she wants something practical. So let me ask you this. How many of you have walked into a dealership already sold on the car before you even sat down? Bobby in the comments said, if it's luxury, always lease unless it's a Lexus. And honestly, that's not bad advice depending on your situation, because at least with a lease, you're not stuck watching your money depreciate in the driveway. Now real quick, if you're new here, I'm Kingsley, and this is where we break down real money moments together. So if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and let's keep going.
Like, please, does anyone want a fucking Tesla? Like, I just had it for 2 days and I freaking hate this car. Like, oh my god, you almost hate me! I wanted, and I tried to go back to where I got it today because I don't know about my battery, but my miles go so fast. Like, I live like 15-20 miles away from my job. Why the fuck did it take 40 miles for my battery? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, if you on TikTok post that you freaking love Teslas, are you lying? Because what is going on? Like,
2 days. She had this car for just 2 days and she's already crying on camera. She traded in a Camry for a used Tesla and the battery is draining 40 miles just for 20 miles of commute. Then when she went back to the dealership trying to return it, they basically told her good luck with that. You see, this is what happens when you trade reliability for a brand name, because the Camry would have gotten her to walk and back for the next 10 years without a single tear. Somebody in the comments said people need to understand when buying a Tesla, it don't benefit you if you don't have a charger at home. That's debatable and also partially correct, because having a charger at work could also be of benefit.
I'm literally pulled over right now because my heart is pounding, because my Mercedes believes that it knows more about driving than I do, and to be safe, for the 3rd time this week, it slammed on my brakes for me, flinging me forward, making this awful noise as it applied the brake when nothing was there. Nothing. This car is the worst car I have ever had in my entire life. The worst car I've ever had. Brand new Mercedes. And it legitimately is the worst car to drive, to have. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make it stop. But the feeling that you get when you think you have backed into something and your car just stops in the middle of the road because it sensed something. I'm shaking. So at this point, I don't know. I just want them to take it away, and I want to own any. This was my dream car. My dream car was a Mercedes Benz, and I got my Mercedes last year. I bought it brand new, outright. So proud of myself. I hate that it makes driving awful.
Now check this. She paid cash for her Mercedes, not financed, but cash, and it's still the worst car she'd ever had in her entire life. The car slammed on the brakes in the middle of the road 3 times in 1 week with nothing there. And now she's literally shaking on camera because she's scared of driving her own car. And this is the side of the car regret nobody talks about, because sometimes the car itself is the problem. She said, I just want someone to give me back my old car. And that line hits different when you've paid full price for the upgrade. But if you think spending too much on a car is bad, wait until you see how much it costs just to keep one running.
So my car is a Mercedes, right? Convertible. I bought it about like a year ago. And the headaches that a Mercedes gives is terrible. Terrible. and the pricing of everything is out the roof. Thank God that my family, you know, my family owns a mechanic shop, so a lot of times my brothers and my dad can fix it. But there's just things that Mercedes does that most of the time you gotta go to them, you know, because it's like the headache of their cars. So if you have this itch that you want to get a Mercedes, hey, I want to get a Mercedes, don't do it. Don't do it, please. It's not worth it. I'm in my grandpa's car, and let me tell you, este carrito, este little hoopty, this hoopty is way better than my Mercedes.
Her family literally owns a mechanic shop and she still can't afford her Mercedes. You see, that's the part that should worry you, because even with free labor, she's bleeding money on parts and proprietary repairs. Since Mercedes designed the cars, so you have to go to the dealers for half the work anyway. She's sitting in grandpa's little beater right now saying this is way better than my Mercedes. Here's the rule nobody tells you. If you need a family of mechanics just to keep your car alive, you can't afford your car. Michelle said, I had a Mercedes a few years ago. I really loved it, but I had to get rid of it because it started to cost way too much to maintain. And that's everyone's Mercedes story.
Dude, I think I'm gonna sell my Tesla. I got this car in 2020 when I moved back to LA, and I was so scared of getting into a car accident. I was like, I just want a self-driving car. Once the technology is all good, I'm just gonna use it. I'm investing in my safety and my future, and I don't want to leave anything to human error. But no, I'm gonna die, mofos, because Elon Musk is freaking crazy and erratic, and I don't trust this piece of software. This is not a car. This is a piece of software. Like, the wheels and crap, everything is fine. You can replace your wheels, but you're paying. Now my life is determined on every software update, whether there's some bug in it that someone didn't carefully check because Elon Musk is just in a rush and being stupid and erratic. Every time the software updates, you have to relearn where all the buttons are on this touchscreen, so it just feels like I'm playing with the touchscreen every single time I drive and I come home to California. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the temperature control now?
She called it exactly right. That's not a car. That's a piece of software with wheels. Every time it updates, you have to relearn how to use your own car. And she bought it for safety. That's kind of the opposite of what you paid for. Somebody in the comments said most Tesla owners get them cars for status, but not realizing the car is trash. That's harsh. But when your screen goes black while you're driving, what are we even talking about? Have you ever bought something expensive thinking it would make your life easier and it actually made it worse? Drop it in a comment.
Do you guys know one thing that I wasn't fucking prepared for? I'll tell you right now. I'm 23 years old. I'm going to be 24 in October. I am trying to save up my money so I can move out of my family home, get a nice one bed or a studio somewhere in London, and just have some independence, have some peace. Would love that, okay? No one told me that it's impossible to save money when you have a car. No, it's actually impossible. Every time I get paid, something happens with my car. Something. I just got paid my wages, a fat lump sum, and I get a letter the next day in the mail. You need to pay your road tax, 200 and something pounds. Just got paid again. I need to go get my brakes fixed. It's impossible to save while having a license, and I don't understand it. I don't understand how people have a car that's financed, plus rent, plus bill. How are you affording this? I can't afford to get my nails done and get a chicken sandwich the same day.
I can't afford to get my nails done and get a chicken sandwich the same day. She's 23, trying to save up to move out. And every time she gets paid, something happens with a car. It's always something. She's talking about just having a car, period. And watching every paycheck disappear before you can even save a single pound. Someone in the comments said, girl, me too. $450 on brakes and discs. Then guess what? MOT is due, service is due, road tax and insurance is as well. That's the circle. You fix one thing and the next bill is already waiting. Now the next few clips are where the numbers starts getting really uncomfortable.
Here are my biggest mistakes about money that I made in my 20s. I wish financial education was talked more about in school, but I learned from experience and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. First one is buying my dream car at 25 years old. I bought a brand new Tesla Model 3 at $51,000 and it cost over $1,000 a month for me to maintain, including the loan, insurance, maintenance, and everything else. Second one is putting my home improvements on a credit card. Now, mind you, I did put it on a 0% interest rate for 18 months, but I realized I probably should have waited to have it in cash so that I didn't have to put it on a credit card. And lastly, not having an emergency fund is an emergency. When I first moved out of my parents' house, I only had $2,000 or $3,000 left over after all of my moving expenses. And within that first year, I used all of it up, if not slightly more.
$51,000 on a Tesla at 25 years old. She's making $80K a year thinking she can handle it. And then the real number hits, because once you add the loan payment, the insurance, the maintenance, she's spending over $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. That's 15% of her gross income before tax. And she said the part that killed her is knowing that she could have put that money into the stock market instead, because $12,000 a year invested at 25 would be worth hundreds of thousands by the time she retires. The investment would be worth more every year. That's the line right there. The moment you sign and your money starts going into the wrong direction.
Regret about
Here's
buying
my
a car.
biggest regret about buying a car. Way back when I didn't even know what a lease was, I went to a Lexus dealership and I wanted to lease a brand new Lexus. And I decided to put $10,000 down. Why? Because I was expecting that to make my payment lower. What the dealership did was, here, $10,000, that's music to their ears. That's an opportunity for the dealership to make a lot of money on a lease. With you leasing a car, they put on the paperwork that MSRP.
$10,000 gone because nobody explained how a lease works. She heard Lexus and saw the lifestyle, and they heard $10,000 and saw the dollar signs. This is financial literacy 101 that schools don't teach, and the dealership is counting on you not knowing this. Somebody in the comments said down payment makes your payment lower when you finance, not lease. And that's true. Most people don't know the difference, and dealers love that. Did you know putting a big down payment on a lease doesn't lower your payment the same way? Type no if you didn't.
Okay, so let me put y'all on real quick. So back during the bandemic, whatever you want to call it, I bought not only one, but two motherfucking high-end luxury cars. I got a BMW and a Range Rover. And looking back, I could really slap the fuck out of myself if I'm just being honest. Not because I couldn't afford it then or now, but because I'm no longer trying to keep up with chasing a look. You feel me? I really wasn't thinking long term when I bought these dumb investments. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's really nothing cute about being stuck with two high-end ass car notes. I promise you that. Especially when it's a depreciating asset. But forget the situation. Here's the lesson. If you're gonna get a higher end car, lease it. Do not finance it for 6 or 7 years just to be stuck in a car note that you no longer really want. Then you can't sell it without taking a hit. Cause this is the thing, when I bought my cars, y'all know everything was overpriced during motherfucking pandemic. So not only am I in a hole with two vehicles, you get what I'm saying? It's just like they're not even worth it for what I'm paying on them.
She said she could slap the hell out herself. And honestly, I do respect the honesty. 2 luxury cars during the pandemic when everything was overpriced, and then got a BMW and a Range Rover, and she knows the math doesn't work anymore. But here's the thing, she's not broke. She can make the payments. The problem is she's trapped in 2 depreciating assets instead of building something real. And that one line she said, I don't care about people seeing me look wealthy. I want to be wealthy. That right there is the whole lesson of this video. That's what I call crossing the lot line. She walked into that lot chasing a look, and now she's paying for it every single month.
I love our cars, but they are by far the worst financial decision we've ever made. And it wasn't just one bad financial decision. We made the same bad financial decision 3 times. 3 times in a row when we bought a new car, we had negative equity from our old car and we just rolled it over into the new loan because we could afford the payment. It never really felt like a bad financial decision in the moment because we would look at the payment and we would be like, oh yeah, we can afford this and we can afford this even on a single income. But now taking a step back and looking at our finances and looking at how long we're going to be paying these cars off, this feels like a really bad decision. We don't carry credit card debt. We don't have any more student loans. This is literally the only bad financial decision, and it's so bad. This is really embarrassing. We pay more for our cars every month than we do for our house. It's really humbling to say out loud.
This one is going to make some of you uncomfortable because it's probably you. They rolled negative equity 3 times. Every car they bought, they were already underwater before they drove up the lot because they kept folding the old debt into the new loan. And now the car payments are more than the mortgage. No credit card debts, no student loan debt. They did everything right, and this one mistake is the anchor dragging them down. Diane said, we keep our cars forever, buy them new, but keep them forever. And that's a smart play. But after all of that, the last few clips are where you start seeing people actually wake up and fight their way out of it.
I bought my dream car when I was 27, and this is why I regret it. At the time, I had recently gotten a raise, and I thought I was on the path to making a lot of more money. So I went and bought a Tesla because it was one of my goals. You see, the people in my community were making a lot more money than me, and I wanted to fit in as an entrepreneur, and I thought buying a nice car was the way. This is what I know today. The money that I spend on my monthly car payments I could be taking my family to Disneyland every month. I could be living in a much nicer neighborhood. I could be saving money so that we could actually buy and own our own property. I could have reinvested that money into myself and my learning and my education. I could have reinvested that money into my business.
She bought a Tesla at 27 because all other entrepreneurs around her had nice cars and she wanted to fit in. And now she's listing everything that money could have been instead. Disneyland with her family every single month, a nicer neighborhood, a down payment on the property, hiring help. The car was supposed to make her feel successful, but it was the one thing stopping her from actually being successful. She said there's a huge difference between perceived success and true success. And honestly, that should be on a billboard somewhere. Somebody in the comments said, think before you fit in with problems you didn't have before. That's the whole sentence right there.
Man, whatever you do, don't sell your cash car. So man, me being young and dumb and shit, like, bro, I had a 08 Honda Accord. Everything was straight on it. I'm talking about deal with my car in high school and shit like that, and graduated, moving forward. Now I did wreck it. It was just around the time where I was like, bro, I really need some money. I really need it. I'm talking about, man, it was just some shit going on. So, man, I sold it. And right after, I'm just like, man, what the hell I just did?
This guy actually had the Honda. Paid off 2008 Accord since high school. Reliable, no issue. And he sold it because he needed the money. And he's been regretting it ever since. If you have a reliable car that's paid off right now, hold on to it. Every person in this video would trade it with you. Marie said, sold mine for 500 because it wouldn't crank. Man came and wiggled the battery cord. It cranked right up. That's the worst feeling. You sold it for nothing and the guy fixed it in 5 seconds.
The day that I've been dreading for about 4 years is finally here. I have no bigger regret than getting a car on finance. Long story short, I've got 3 options. Either pay this balloon payment of 10,000 and something so I can own the car, but do I want to do that? Anyway, they will be taking that money out. It's just a matter of will they find anything there. 2, sell it privately with the hopes that I make a profit from the sale and then they pay off like my finance for me. This is the best option, by the way. Or 3, give the car back to the dealership, which should on paper be like, okay, then you pay nothing, you just hand it over and you go on your merry way. But that's not the case because my parents did that about 2 months ago and realized a lot of like small print that they're now paying heavily, like in the thousands for. I calculated how much I would have paid over my years of financing and it's about £14,000. Imagine I had that in savings.
I love this one because she's not just sitting at home crying about it. She's actually doing something. She spent about £14,000 on this car over the years and now the balloon payment is coming due. The dealership offered her $12,000. Old her would have just taken it, but she said nah, listed it for $14 because why leave money on the table? Her parents tried returning a financed car and got hit with hidden fees in thousands. So she already knew the fine print is designed to trap you. Laura said look for your voluntary termination clause in your contract. It doesn't matter about negative equity. That kind of advice could save someone thousands of pounds right now.
I know something I will never do ever again. Finance a fucking car. I stupidly bought a car at the peak of the car market 2 years ago. It was a 2015 Mercedes E400 coupe. It was beautiful. Granted, it had less than 50,000 miles. Gorgeous. And sticker price, they wanted less than 20,000 for it. It was like 19.7. And out the door, after all their bullshit, they wanted me to be at almost 26,000 fucking dollars. To boot, with an almost 11% interest rate. After 2 hours of fucking haggling with them, I got them down to 23.8, whatever the fuck it was. And it was like, that was the greatest gift from God they could have done for me. And I also did 6-year financing, which everybody knows you don't fucking do that. And even at that, I could still barely afford it. I was buying a $24,000 car, and I was barely making $20,000 a year.
So after everything we've seen today, this is the one I want you to pay the most attention to. She was making $20,000 a year and bought a $24,000 car. The sticker said $19,700, but by the time the dealer added fees, she owed $26,000, 11% interest, 6 years financing. But here's what separates her from everyone else. She paid it off in 6 months, sold it for $12,000 and took the loss. And then she bought another Mercedes, but this time with cash. Same car, same person, just a different strategy. That's the difference between crossing the lot line wrong and crossing it right. She said, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it once. Remember that. Somebody in the comments said, you're either financing it or you're fixing it all the time. Choose wisely, and that's a perfect note to end on. Now, every person you've just watched crossed the same lot line. They all signed something at a dealership based on how the car made them feel, not what the math said. And somebody said, I don't care about people seeing me look wealthy. I want to be wealthy. That's the whole video right there. Before you buy any car, know what it actually costs over the life of the loan, not the monthly. If you can't look at the number and feel comfortable, you already know the answer. Which clip hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.